Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today we have another episode brought to you guys by Blade Ops. Be sure to look them up for all of your knife and EDC needs. And today we're going to be taking a look at a knife that could very well be the best gentleman's EDC knife ever. I really am in love with this. There is one little issue, but the overall knife itself is so good. And it's actually a Boker. And yeah, I'm honestly a little surprised as you guys, but there's a good reason why, and let's get into it and take a look at it here. And some of you may be able to be guessed right now, because last year I reviewed a knife similar to this that I absolutely love, and you will see here later in this review. But what we have here is the Boker Plus Urban Barlow. Take a look at this beauty. If this doesn't scream gentleman's knife, I don't know what does. Now, of course, I have had this out of the box and ran it through some paces, but I mainly just wanted to, I like doing the unboxing out sometimes. It's fun. But this guy right here is absolutely phenomenal. Now, before we get into the full review of this knife, let's take a look at some overall specs on this little front flipper right here. We have an overall length of 6.77 inches with a blade length coming in at 2.95 inches and a blade thickness at 100 thousandths. M390 on the blade steel with a drop point style blade, a beautiful hollow grind that is extremely slicey and extremely well done for the most part, but there is an issue there we'll talk about here in a second. We have a handle length coming in at 3.82 inches with a handle thickness at 517 thousandths. That's not including the clip. I got that measurement right around here where the transition line is. So the clip does add a little thickness, but it feels good in a very good way, and we'll of course talk about that as well. Cocobolo wood on the scales, and there's also a carbon fiber option. We have a bolster slash frame lock. A lot of people will consider it a frame lock. I guess it technically is a frame lock, but yeah, bolster, frame lock, whatever you want to call it, that's what it is. It works really good, and it looks really good. User of a right hand only tip up carry. So, lefties, I am really sorry because this is a fantastic knife, but you, unfortunately, yeah, is what it is. Weight coming in at 2.33 ounces, which is very nice for a knife of this size. No issue with the weight. Designed by the one and only Brad Zinker. If you didn't already see that on the blade, you guys know how much I love a good Brad Zinker design. And yeah, this is not a disappointment. This is a fantastic design from Brad. A price coming in, this gets a little questionable at this price, $376.95. That's a lot of money for this knife, especially with the issue it has. I will let you guys be the judge of whether or not it is worth it. But that is a lot of money, especially considering the current market and the issue with this knife, which we will talk about at the blade. But before I get to the issue, let's just look at the lines on this blade, because 90% of this blade is perfect to me. Beautiful high hollow grind, beautiful lines at the top. The little cutout there, it doesn't really do anything. It's purely for aesthetics. I mean, technically it could be a pinch. Yeah, so no, never mind. I take that back. It's not purely aesthetic. What I mean by that is you can't middle finger flick it. You just can't. But you can kind of give it the pinch to open it if you're not a front flipper guy. So there you go. But I will say that front flipper, yeah, it's pretty excellent with that jimping. The jimping is perfect as far as I'm concerned. No issue with deploying this blade. And the lines, oh my gosh, the lines on this blade. A lot of belly up front and a nice bit of robustness at the tip. This is not, it may look dainty, but when you actually get that top view of it, you have a nice little amount of chunk up there at the tip to do some nice little work with. Very slicey edge coming in at 15 thousandths behind the edge. So very impressive there. And then you get to the plunge grind and it's a train wreck. It's a train wreck. There's no other way to put it. Now I will say this too. I have, of course, bought other high-end knives with an issue similar to this. That doesn't mean it's going to be the issue with every single knife in terms of the unfinished sharpened edge. but I wouldn't get too excited about the plunge grind being any better. And that's a real problem when you're talking, again, $376.95. If you were talking $200, it would still not be good, but it's a lot easier to swallow at $200 or less compared to almost $380. That's a big no-no, especially nowadays. It's just too easy to avoid that. And yeah, that's very, very unfortunate to see. Again, I don't know if it'll be like that on every model, but it is like that on the model I have here in front of you. So that absolutely has to be called out and pointed out with some attention to. So you could, of course, just touch this and sharpen, get the edge sharpened to where you won't have that little bit of flatness and unfinished sharpened edge. But then it's so thick back here by the plunge grind, you will definitely get a bit of a smile. So very unfortunate, but again, is what it is. Outside of that, though, this blade is like the definition of perfection for me, especially for, just a 2.95, a sub 3-inch blade. It has all the looks, all the sliciness, everything you want in a gentleman's knife. This blade has. It's phenomenal with the exception of that very, very big mistake down there. But now moving into the handle, things also get very good. Oh, you know what? Before we go into the handle, let's do a quick size comparison so everyone can get a little better idea what we got here. We'll make this one really quick. I got some high-end front flippers that I also really, really enjoy. This is the Pena Barlow? I can't remember. Pena Apache. That's it. I knew it'd come to me. And then we also have the We Knives Black Void Opus, which is still an excellent gentleman-style front flipper that I enjoy very much. And as you can see, it actually measures up pretty well with both of those, extremely well with the Black Void Opus. So I think that gives everybody just an idea of what we got here in terms of size and length, all that good stuff. And also, I said I liked this design. So last year, this guy came out right here. This is the Boker Plus Urban Trapper, not to be confused with the Urban Barlow. This Urban Barlow is basically kind of just another run from the series of the, I guess we'll call it the Urban series from Brad Zinker that came from Boker. And as you can see, the plunge grind on this one is phenomenal. No issue there. Really good job. Nice, complete sharpened edge. So again, obviously these are two completely different knives, but I'm just saying, there is a chance that the example you get could be a lot better than the one in front of you. I like this knife so much I bought it twice. I really had to. I am an absolute sucker for a good Brad Zinker design. This is one of his best designs ever. These knives are extremely similar. The only difference is really the blade shape and the length of the knife. Other than that, we're talking something very, very similar. So you guys know that the previous knife you just saw was in the knife of the year running for me. It was literally one of my favorite knives of the year last year. So this one is still really up there. I still, even with this horrible blemish on the blade, I still really love this knife. Getting back to the handle, the ergos just feel great for what it is. Of course, it's it's very simple, very kind of modern and clean, very nice contouring. Everything's round and smooth, so you don't have any hot spots, no issues there. And of course, you have some jimping at the bottom here, up by not really a choilish area, but towards the top of the handle. And then you have very nice jimping up along the front flipper area till you have a very nice grip. And it just feels good in hand. I mean, if you have a really big hand, this may feel exceptionally small to you. But for me, I do have, kind of large hands, just a little on the skinnier side. It feels really good in my hand. I have no issues with that whatsoever. Clip works great, really good retention, and it just looks good. Like, again, when you're picking out a gentleman's knife, aesthetics is a huge part of it. There's no denying that. You obviously want a blade that can perform the tasks, but it's got to look a certain way. And that varies from person to person. There's no right or wrong answer, really. It's whatever you deem to look good as a classier, gentlemanly style carry. And I think the wood, the Cocobolo, really just hits all those points with the titanium and that nice kind of is that a blasted or bead blasted finish? Yeah, we'll call it definitely a bead blasted finish. It just looks excellent, and the clip works well. Nice, solid lockup. Everything except that. It's just an absolute home run for me. You get into the action, and it's one of the most front flipper friendly knives in terms of ease of deployment. It's just a joy to deploy. It's extremely fidgety for just a front flipper. It's one where you just that little bit, you break that detent and oh man, the blade flies out. It is reach around approved, so very easy to do that pull and whip that blade out. It's great. It is, boy, oh boy. The two issues there are really two elephants in the room, though, of course, with the price being rather high and really hard to accept that price with the issue with the plunge grind. So there's definitely some pros and cons to this one. You guys, give me your thoughts on this one. I would really like to know the community's opinion here. Obviously, it's up there in price, but the design is just absolutely perfection to me. I love it. To me, when it comes to a gentleman knife, especially with the sub 3-inch blade, a design doesn't get any better than this for me. Like, to me, this is the peak for a gentleman's folder. It's just, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's got everything I want, just needs a better plunge grind. But outside of that, in terms of whether or not I'd recommend it, you know, in terms of everything with the exception of the plunge grind, yes, I'd recommend it. The price is always subjective. Everyone can always have their own opinion on the price. And again, there's a lot of things that factor into the price. And if you're personally satisfied and happy and enjoy your purchase, then it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about the price, to be honest. So you let me know your thoughts on the price. This is a Chinese-produced knife coming from the PRC, which I believe that stands for People's Republic of China. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong there. Just don't roast me too bad. I think that's what it means, but I'm not 100% sure. But again, it is Chinese produced, but damn oh damn, it is just, I said damn oh damn. Boy, oh boy. Okay, I think it's time to end this review. But anyway, that's it, guys. That is the Boker Plus Urban Barlow. I love it. I enjoy it. I have a few reservations about it, but at the end of the day, it is one absolutely gorgeous knife. And in my opinion, a perfect gentleman's design. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Really hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.